Hey, it's Arjun, CEO of doola.com, and in this video, I'm going to answer the question, can I start an LLC in a state that I don't live in? Doola.com is a business in a box, and we have helped over 10,000 entrepreneurs just like you go from dream idea to dream business. We help you start a business in any state in the US, open a business bank account, do your taxes, your compliance, your bookkeeping, get a registered agent, get an EIN, all the unsexy yet critical back office that's required to get a business off the ground. And not just start it, but run it and grow it. And along the way, we've raised over $13 million of venture capital from some of the world's best investors, including Y Combinator, HubSpot Ventures, Nexus Venture Partners, Dharmesh Shah, Sahil Bloom, Cody Sanchez, Graham Stephan, and more. Also that we can create content just like this to help you navigate this journey. Now, in terms of this video, we're going to run through whether or not you can actually start an LLC in a state you don't live in. And then we'll also give some tips on what to do when you are ready to start. And by the end, you are going to know the answer to this question. No fluff. We're going to get right to the point. Without further ado, let's dive in. Let's doula it. You can start an LLC in a state you don't live in. There we go. We're going to answer the question right off the bat. In some cases, other states offer additional advantages that make them a smart choice. If you are in the process of starting a business and need an LLC, and you're wondering, can I start an LLC in a state I don't live in? I'll say it again. The answer is yes. If you form an LLC in another state, however, you'll need to maintain a registered agent and a registered office. Let's start with how does forming an LLC outside your home state work? To form an LLC outside of your home state, you're going to follow similar steps as if you were to form an LLC in-state. These are the basic steps. Let's go through them one by one. First, choose a state in which to form your LLC. Next, choose a name for your LLC. You can learn more about naming an LLC in our other videos. Next, you'll have to choose a registered agent and a registered office. You'll have to file the articles of organization or equivalent with the Secretary of State. You'll then have to prepare an LLC operating agreement, obtain an EIN, open a business bank account, and then get your business bank account application approved. Required documentation and fees vary from state, but typically you'll see it range from $0 in some state to $40 to $500, really depends on the state. You can check out recurring and one-time state filing fees for starting your LLC in our guides online. To get a foreign LLC registration in the state where your future business will operate, you must appoint an in-state registered agent with a registered office. I want to define that term now. You might hear the term foreign registration or foreign LLC. That doesn't mean you yourself are foreign or live outside the US. What it means is the LLC is being registered in a foreign state, a state that is not the state where you live or are based in. That makes it foreign. I wanted to clear that up because that can be quite confusing. You technically could be foreign, not from the US, and registering an LLC as a foreign LLC, foreign squared, but in this case, remember, foreign LLC means registering the LLC in your non-home state or non-in-state state. Next up, why should you even consider forming an LLC in another state? Truth is, some states offer benefits like tax advantages, flexible business regulations, or stronger liability protection, which make them more appealing for forming an LLC. Wyoming, Delaware, New Mexico, and Nevada are the most popular states to form an LLC in. This is because they offer anonymous LLC protections or filings, where your public information isn't put on the public record. Or to put it differently, your private information doesn't become public. If you are considering one of the anonymous states to file your LLC, check out our content on anonymous LLC filings. Another thing I'll call out here is that one of the biggest reasons why someone will foreign qualify or form an LLC in another state is if they are doing business there. The definition of doing business means you could quite literally be physically based there, but think of the word physical. Are you physically based there? Do you have a physical workshop there? Do you have physical employees there? Physical, physical, physical. If you are physically based there, you're typically doing business. And remember, doing business can be as simple as you sending emails or working from there. If that is the case, let's say you live in New York, but have an office in Delaware with a warehouse in Delaware and employees in Delaware, you're actually going to have to register your LLC to do business in another state. Next up, let's cover the key factors to consider before starting an LLC in another state. Number 1, laws and regulations of the state. It's essential to understand the laws and regulations of the state if you want to form an LLC in a state other than your home state. For example, the registration fees, filing requirements, and registered agent requirements can all differ from state to state. In addition, you must register your business entity as a foreign entity in any other states where you do business. We talked about this requirement. It's that physical requirement. Normally, you won't have to register the LLC in your home state unless you plan to operate there. But again, the definition of operate is quite loose. It quite literally means, are you doing business there in any way, shape, or form? Number 2, a registered agent. A registered agent is the official point of contact for your business entity. This can be any person or business entity appointed to handle official correspondence for the business. Exact criteria vary by state, but generally, the registered agent can be any individual over the age of 18 or a business entity located in the state. The registered agent must maintain a registered office, which is a physical office located in the state and open during regular business hours. This is why we actually don't recommend that you serve as your own registered agent, because you need to have a physical office with actual hours that you were present during the day. It's easier to delegate that. Focus on your unique abilities as a founder and let someone else handle that. Number 3, business operations and management. The physical location of your LLC affects day-to-day operations, from hiring employees to warehouse management or sourcing. With an online-only or service-oriented business, you might not have to consider physical shop locations or sourcing. However, all businesses need to carefully consider the impact of operating a business in a state you don't live in, including factors such as taxes, licensing, and banking. You may also need to consider hiring employees and management of physical locations. 4, hiring employees. If you hire employees in a different state, you must comply with local state laws, including labor laws, insurance, and compliance standards. Please do keep in mind that states may have different procedures for tax filings. You can check out local state procedures, labor laws, and tax obligations before choosing a state to form an LLC. You can also schedule a free consultation with a doola formation specialist to run through those exact points to make sure that you have dotted your I's and crossed your T's. Number 5, maintain compliance and legal obligations. Ongoing responsibilities and obligations of LLC owners include filing annual reports and paying the annual filing fee. This varies greatly state by state, and in addition, you'll have to pay relevant state and federal taxes. Next up, let's cover what are the best states to actually start an LLC in. The following 4 states are longtime favorites for founders and entrepreneurs for a good reason. Number 1, Wyoming. Wyoming has been gaining popularity as a pro-business state. It doesn't charge either income or franchise taxes, and the annual filing fees are minimal. LLC formation costs are relatively low, and Wyoming is known for immediate LLC formation. They're fast. The state also earns high marks for exceptional privacy protection for LLC owners. You can check out Wyoming LLC's pros and cons in an extensive guide and video we've created too. Before I get to the next state, I want to also clarify. If you live inside the United States, the best state to form in is actually probably going to be the state you live in. And the reason for that is, if you form in another state, you're technically doing business in the state you live in. So you're going to have to register and pay in 2 states in terms of the registered agent and the filing fees. So you just doubled your costs. Therefore, we recommend if you live in the United States, form in the state you live in. If you live outside the United States, congratulations, the world is your oyster. And these states are ones that founders choose from. This is what I would say is the most popular ranking in terms of states that non-US founders choose. But again, if you live in the United States, 9 times out of 10 or more, we're going to recommend typically you form in the state you live in. Now let's get back to the list. Number 2, Delaware. Delaware remains the number 1 choice for forming an LLC, maybe after Wyoming, due to its business-friendly reputation. It doesn't tax out-of-state income, which can result in meaningful tax savings. In addition, the initial LLC filing fees and annual franchise taxes are low compared to other states, making Delaware a cost-effective solution. In case a Delaware LLC is involved in a lawsuit, Delaware's famous Chancery Court, which specializes in business disputes and is well-versed in business matters, will help you secure a favorable outcome. You can check out more about the pros and cons of a Delaware LLC in the content we've created just on that topic. Number 3, New Mexico. New Mexico offers significant LLC benefits. It has some of the lowest filing fees in the nation, along with no annual reporting requirements. New Mexico LLCs also offer additional privacy protection. Number 4, Nevada. Nevada also doesn't impose any income taxes or franchise taxes. However, it does charge a gross receipts tax. It is also one of the only states that offers additional privacy protection for LLC owners. You can even form an anonymous LLC in Nevada. The state also allows you to create a special type of LLC called a series LLC, which consists of a parent LLC LLC and one or more divisions called series. Despite the advantages, Nevada LLCs are required to file an annual list of members and managers in the state. It also has higher filing fees when compared to other states. Last, let's jump into how to actually launch a business in a new state. Whether you are a foreigner living outside the US or a US resident ready to get rolling, it requires research and a good team to ensure compliance. With Doola's business and LLC formation services, we are happy to help, not just from starting your company, but helping you run it and grow it. We offer formation services in all 50 states. We will not just help you form your LLC, but we also help you get your EIN, get a registered agent, open a business bank account so that you can truly focus on what you do best, which is developing your business and launching your business, while Doola handles the unsexy yet critical paperwork and compliance behind the scenes. If you have any questions, you can schedule a free consultation with the Doola team, or if you have tax questions, don't hesitate to reach out to schedule a free consultation with our CPAs. Last but not least, as a bonus, I'm going to run through some of the most frequently asked questions we get when it comes to forming an LLC in a state you don't live in. Are there any restrictions or limitations to forming an LLC in a different state? You can form an LLC in a different state, but you should be aware of state-specific filing requirements for compliance. You will need to apply for a certificate of authority and pay the necessary registration fees if you are a foreign LLC in the state. Do I need a physical address in the state where I want to form my LLC? Yes, you will need a physical address called the registered address in the state where you want to form the LLC. Can I simply hire a registered agent to form and maintain my out-of-state LLC? Yes, you can hire a registered agent service to form and maintain an out-of-state LLC. Doola can help with that. That's actually what we typically recommend because, again, you won't have a physical presence in that state. Do I have to pay taxes in both the state where my LLC is formed and where I reside? Unless you opt to have the LLC treated as a corporation, you will generally file LLC income taxes on your income tax return. Unless you relocate to the state where you form the LLC, you may owe taxes in the state where you reside and any states where you do business. Check with a CPA, you can talk to a Doola CPA, to understand your individual tax situation. That's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll finish with one of the best pieces of business advice that I've gotten. A decent plan executed today is infinitely better than the perfect plan executed a year from now. What that means is, if you made it this far in the video, you're in the 1% of the 1%. You have an idea, or you actually have an LLC, and you're thinking about where to start it and how to start it. Fantastic. Take action. Make sure you also have your questions answered, of course. You can talk to a Doola specialist or do your own research. At the end of the day, we want to make sure that you get it right. But don't put it off indefinitely, because the worst thing that happens is a year from now, you're still spinning your wheels and haven't taken action. You learn so much more from doing versus being stuck in analysis paralysis. The entire Doola team is rooting for you. You can Doola it. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to comment down below and let us know what we can answer for you. Hope to see you in a future video, and remember, take action today.